does this chart, or doesn't this chart assume a 30% cut to SGR, the sustainable growth rate, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Foster,
correct?
Mr. Foster, this is chart 7 in your testimony. You want to provide him the answer?
Yes, sir, it does.
Thank you. Well, don't you think, Mr. Chairman, that that's a bit pessimistic and not in line with the current reality, since we, as a Congress, in fact, I agree. We mentioned it before, we've averted that, these SGR cuts for the last 10 years and are currently working in Ways and Means, you're a member there as well, on a long-term fix. Isn't that true?
I think that's right, and I think that's why that lends more credence to the appendix that Mr. Foster put in his report, showing that the true unfunded liability on Medicare is more at $37 trillion than not.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Chairman. Does it take into account the payments that are made to doctors for health information technology, electronic medical records? Does it or does it not?
Well, mind you, even if we plug that hole, doctors are still getting paid 80 cents on the dollar.
What about quality? What about bonuses for quality reporting?
Are you talking about PPACA? Yeah, PPACA. So if you take a look at this chart, you'll see it's at 80%, and then it goes off a cliff. That cliff is the SGR.
Well,
so let's assume we plug the SGR, the cliff doesn't occur, the slope still goes down, but starting at 80%. So that means instead of paying physicians next year 60 cents on the dollar, we'll plug the hole and pay them 80 cents on the dollar, and that still goes down to a lower amount. And that means then we're moving more toward a $37 trillion unfunded liability than a $20
But we're here today to address the problems in Medicare and Social Security, Mr. Chairman. I think what we need to do is have real detailed explanations about the charts that you put up there, we put up there. It doesn't matter who puts the charts up. You can't just slide those charts given assumptions. What does that mean? Mr.
Okay, so the next time we put the actuary's chart up, we'll tell you we're putting up the actuary's chart.
Yeah, I didn't ask you.
See the source down there? Actuary.
Mr. Foster, at yesterday's hearing on the IPAB, one of my colleagues attributed Medicare's insolvency to the Democratic plan. I just want to make clear what creates solvency problems and what does not. Healthcare reform, which is fully paid for, is not to blame for Medicare's solvency.
Would the gentleman yield on that point then?
Sure.
So if we're to assume what you say, that these cuts will never occur, then your health care bill is not paid for.
We know that the health care bill is paid for.
Well, no, you're saying it's paid for.
We painfully laid it out very clearly.
You can't have it both ways.
Very different from what...
Either these cuts do not occur and it's not paid for, or these cuts do occur and it's paid for.
Can I reclaim my time?
Yes, you may.